On this edition of Raise All Access, we sit down with the always entertaining Brett Phillips. Tampa Bay's resident funny guy talks about how much it means to him to be able to play in his hometown, his knack for keeping the clubhouse loose, and a certain pitching performance that went viral.
Trisha, I kid you not, I can tell you without a doubt that I did not know that there were cameras in the bullpen until I got back to my phone after the game, and I'm sitting with 20,000 more followers than I had before on my Instagram.
And Phillips shares the emotional story behind why wearing the number 35 is so special to him. Ray's Senior Director of Scouting Rob Metzler recaps the 2021 amateur draft, and we'll hear from #1 pick, shortstop Carson Williams, on what it was like to turn pro. Welcome into another edition of Raise All Access. I'm Trisha Whitaker. Well, being the guy who's quick to say or do something to make his teammates laugh comes naturally for Brett Phillips. And he's perfectly fine with being the team funny guy. But behind that ever-present smile is a big league ball player who's dedicated to doing whatever he can to help the Rays win. And he's thrilled to do so, just miles away from where he grew up.
Phillips, line drive into right, and the Rays win it. Brett Phillips walks it off. Wow scores, and it's a 3-2 final.
Words don't describe and explain coming out here every single day and playing Major League Baseball in front of my hometown fans where I grew up. The emotions each and every night, I'm just grateful. I mean, I just feel so blessed. I feel honestly like the luckiest man ever. And it's funny, Q, our bench coach, came up to me the other night and he's like, hey, do you have like some type of contract where you have to sign every single night that you're here? And you know what I told him? I said, no. I said, when I was a kid growing up coming to these games, I wish that a baseball player would have been more accessible for me to go get autographs. And so that's something that, you know, it may be a kid's first time here and he gets to come down and get an autograph. I know it's from Brett Phillips. It's not like Randy Arozarena or someone like that, you know what I mean? But he gets to come down and get an autograph from a baseball player. And then someday when he's playing Major League Baseball, he'll remember what someone did for him, and he'll do that the same. And it goes for all kids, you know, whether it's a girl or a boy, and they continue to move forward in sports, they'll remember just small moments. So I take a little more pride that it's my hometown, and who, you know, that's what it's all about. It's for the fans.
You love people. You love the fans. We know that.
Yeah.
We see that every day. Have you always been kind of the funny guy ever since you were little, the entertainer of the group?
You know, it's some say a class clown. You know, like you said, I love people. Like, I thrive off of human interaction. That's what like fuels me. And so, you know, luckily I'm in a profession where I'm able to use this platform as in a positive direction. You know, there's always a time and a place. I do have fun, but I'm professional about it. And also it's organic and natural. I don't force trying to be funny. And I know a lot of the times people expect me to be funny, but it's not like I'm at my house, like coming up with scripts, right? Like, okay, today if I get the opportunity to pitch, I'm gonna do some weird stuff and have everyone think it's funny.
Okay, all right, that's a perfect segue. We gotta talk about you pitching. Take me through the moment that Kevin Cash walks up to you and says, can you pitch? And you're going out there.
Yeah, you know, he comes up to me and he asks if I can pitch. You know, I haven't pitched since I was 14. I wasn't gonna let him know that, but like what came out of my mouth was like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm probably the best pitcher on this team, right? All right, so like I go down to the bullpen, and Trisha, I kid you not, I can tell you without a doubt that I did not know that there were cameras in the bullpen.
Brett Phillips continues to get loose down there in the bullpen, and he does so in original style.
I'm not sure that that's going to work, but you never know. And obviously he has no idea he's being filmed right now.
I got back to my phone after the game, and I'm sitting with 20,000 more followers than I had before on my Instagram. And so, you know, luckily I'm in a profession where I'm able to use this platform as in a positive direction. You know, there's always a time and a place. I do have fun, but I'm professional about it. And also it's organic and natural. I mean, it's funny, than I had before on my Instagram, and I'm looking at the video that MLB and everyone posted. I'm just like, no, you did not. You nerd. Like, what is wrong with you? And because I was just out there in the bullpen making our guys laugh, and it was 10-1, trying to make a situation, a negative situation somewhat positive.
Here's the thing, Dwayne. Does he do that in a game? Does he get a little sideways with the delivery in the game, or does he play it straight up and he was just having some fun with the guys down in the pen?
And then, I was all business. And someone came, my stepdad, he made a great point. He's like, did you know that you didn't smile once when you were on the mound? And like, you see me in the outfield, I'm always smiling, up to bat, I'm always smiling. Like, I was all business out there, like trying to just win and do my best. So it was great.
You came sprinting out of the bullpen though, like a bat out of hell. I mean, you're just like booking
Ultimate
it to
Ninja
the. I mean,
Warrior.
was that just for effect, or were you just that amped up?
No, I was that amped up, and I was just kind of showing like, hey, like I'm here, like this is my time to shine. I don't know if there's any scouts in the stands. I hope the Rays scouts are, kind of just like measuring RPM, spin rate. Like, this is an opportunity for me to perform, and I'm going to make the most of it.
And the pitch is up. What?
Yeah.
94. Yeah.
But you threw 94.
Yeah.
You threw 94.
Just a little something I had in the tank, and I tell everyone I wanted to show ranges, right? So I've got 94, I've got 47. So as a hitter, you have to respect that any time when you're in the box and I'm throwing 47, I'm going to throw a fireball at you, and you're not going to know what to do. And like I said in the interviews in the past, I had a repertoire that I didn't even show out there. They got way more to show, and hopefully in the future, Kevin Cash gives me the opportunity.
And when you balked, were you embarrassed? What?
Embarrassed. One word to describe that feeling, and my wife will tell you, like, I never get embarrassed, but in that moment, I was embarrassed.
Did we get a ball?
Yep. No. He dropped the ball.
Usually, physical errors are going to happen, right? In baseball, you try and minimize the mental errors, but like I was put in a situation where I want to say I thought I knew what to do, but I didn't know what I was doing. So when I came set, I actually like hit my leg with the ball, and then I see the ball rolling, and I'm just like in my head, I'm like, please no one saw that. Like, and then balk, son of a gun, there's someone on base, and then everyone's booing me, and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me right now.
When we come back, Phillips talks about how an off-the-cuff answer during a postseason press conference has taken on a life of its own, and why getting to wear the number 35 is a promise kept. Oh my God. Brett Phillips is just one of those guys that's perfectly comfortable in front of the camera, so it only made sense that he would jump at the opportunity to do interviews on the red carpet, or in this case the purple carpet, at the 2021 All-Star Game. And that gave him a chance to reintroduce himself to a certain National League manager who may have been caught just a little off guard.
Dave Roberts comes over. He doesn't recognize, put two and two together. Like, why would he, right? Why would Brett
Who's
Phillips
this guy?
be? Yeah, right? So Xavier Scruggs introduces himself, and then I lead up with Dave Roberts. How's it going? Brett Phillips, Game 4 hero here. And he just absolutely exploded, like looking at me like, are you kidding me? You're the reason I lost so much sleep. That was the worst night of my life. And he's like, you're out there having the best time of your life airplaning. I'm just over there pulling my hair out. Like, but he had some great things to say. He said, like, I love how you play the game. You play the game the right way. He followed that up with that. And it was just so funny that I caught him off guard by that much. And I got like a genuine reaction from him without him knowing, so it was fun.
You have a new t-shirt line coming out.
Yes.
When you said baseball is fun at the World Series, did you ever imagine that it would explode the way that it did and become a t-shirt?
No, I had no clue. I know in the past people have said like, oh, make baseball fun again, but I didn't even know that when I said baseball is fun in that interview after the World Series, A, that I said it, and B, like how many people actually loved it. So Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I have a clothing line coming out. I'll spare the details, obviously, because there's going to be a big reveal, but it just has something to do. It's all from my own creative mind, so I don't have many expectations, but it should be out here soon. And if you like it and you want to support the movement that baseball is fun, then definitely should get you one.
Love that. On a bit of a more serious note,
Yep.
Brett, your jersey number. There's a very special reason that you wear that jersey number, to honor one of your dear friends that passed away who is also from St. Pete. Can you take me through what it means to you to wear that jersey number and honor someone who you were really close with when you guys were young?
Yeah, so like you said, one of my best friends growing up, freshman year, passed away in a tragic car accident with 3 other guys, and Nate wore the number 35 for our high school team. And I told Brad, his brother, and Mr. and Mrs. Richardson, when I make it to the big leagues, I'm gonna honor your son. He's a dear friend of mine, and we're gonna keep his name alive for the rest of the time. And I never had the opportunity. 35's always been taken in Milwaukee. Brent Suter wore it, and then when I got traded over to Kansas City, they just gave me the number 14. I didn't get to choose. So when I got traded over here, Nate Lowe wore the number 35, which was the coolest thing for me, to have someone on the team by the name of Nate wearing his number, right? And then he gets traded in the offseason, and I was like, man, no better story written. You couldn't have written this up better, to get the number 35, wear it in front of our hometown. Everyone knows that. Anyone from Seminole knew about that. That was tragic. It was something that I hope no one has to experience. So now being able to honor him in a stadium we grew up going to together, selling newspapers outside the stadium for the St. Pete Times, right? And it's undescribable. Couldn't have written it better. Obviously I would trade to have my buddy back than to wear his number, but this is the reality of it, and I'm glad that I can honor him.
What was that moment like when you went to Nate's mom's house and showed her your Major League jersey and that you were going to be wearing his number?
Emotional, yes, very emotional. I don't know if you probably saw the reaction, and there's a video out there.
I got you a jersey.
Oh!
Oh. Oh my God.
You know how many years I've been wanting
I know.
You know how many years I have been wanting that.
So every time I run out on the field, you see number 35, he's still there with us. Oh man, I'm so happy.
Good and bad, I'm just glad that I can do this for this small gesture, for them. That it means a lot to them, it means a lot to myself, and I appreciate the Rays putting that together and making that happen as well.
And, we like to talk about all the things that you do off the field, but on the field, second half of the season, what are some of your goals and your improvements that you want to make to help this team win and continue to try to make this run?
My expectations for myself each and every day, and I've told Kevin Cash this, I want to do one thing every single day to help this team win. Whether I'm not starting or I am, if I'm coming off the bench, I just want to win. That is my main purpose and goal, is to win. I know I do a lot of funny stuff, but I'm intense too. I play hard and I play to win. So just do one thing each and every day to help this team win.
Coming up after the break, we'll look back at the Rays 2021 amateur draft with Senior Director of Scouting, Rob Metzler. With the 2021 amateur draft now in the books, we thought this would be the perfect time to sit down with Rays Senior Director of Scouting, Rob Metzler, to break down their picks and talk about their process heading into this draft.
I think it's fairly cliche Rays talk, but we go for the best talent available. We're not particularly concerned with timetables to the big leagues. We like to long-term impact. So we like to improve our odds as best as possible through every means possible to add prospects that both have a high probability of making an impact on the big league team and have potential for a real impact.
You didn't select a pitcher until the 5th round, which is a little bit unusual for the Rays. Why? Was that a part of your strategy, or was it just because that's how things worked out?
I think just the way things worked out. I mean, we had many pitchers who were in strong positions on our board, and they were selected before our turn to pick, and we were there were position players we were really excited about on the board in those spots, and so really just the way it worked out.
With so many good shortstops already in the organization, you still chose a shortstop in the 1st round, Carson Williams. What can you tell us about him and why?
One, we don't worry. Again, it's about long-term impact, so that's another example of best talent available. And to talk about Carson, really what drew us to him was the improvement that he makes every time we go and see him. And we liked his baseball skill quite a bit last summer and last fall. Our West Coast group, spent a tremendous amount of time scouting him and liked his defensive ability, liked his contact bat. Over the course of the winter, through his own work, he got a lot stronger, and I think there was a growth spurt mixed in there. And suddenly we talked about somebody who we knew was a really good defensive shortstop and the really excellent arm strength, and to be able to add that potential for offensive impact, put him into a category we're really excited to get him. With the 28th pick.
Another high school middle infielder, Cooper Kinney. He was a 3-time state champ and the Tennessee Player of the Year. What'd you like about him?
Another player who made steady progress from when first time we saw him at the East Coast. Well, we saw him at the PG National, East Coast Pro area codes last year, and he hit. But the strength came, and he started, the full field power that he showed throughout the spring, paired with improving defensive skills, were just another player who improved every time we saw him, and think he has an excellent chance to keep improving in our system.
2nd round pick, Kyle Manzardo, a first baseman from Washington State and a first-team All-American. Why him?
His bat. When you're drafting a first baseman, you're drafting him because you like their bat. We think he's, impressive full field hitter, impressive strength. I would consider him a hitter first, with strength and power present in his game, but he's a hitter with strength and power, and a good defensive player at first base, so well-rounded prospect. But we were excited to get that left-handed bat in that spot in the draft.
And overall, if you could summarize the 2021 draft for the Rays, what's the word you would use?
That's a good question. Hopefully well-rounded. Even though the way the draft played out, we took a lot of position players up top and a lot of pitching down below. I hope that at the end of the day we're able to have a draft class that elevates themselves and competes their way through the system and makes an impact offensively, defensively, on the mound, in the batter's box. I'm hopeful and pretty thankful for the staff that we have and the infrastructure we have in place in scouting in the front office to be able to sit with you and talk about this group. But there's the amount of work that went in collectively to put this together. Really thankful for the team we have.
Still to come, Rays 2021 first-round pick Carson Williams tells us what it was like to fulfill a lifelong dream and sign his first professional contract. For Carson Williams, getting drafted in the 1st round by the Rays was both the end of one journey and simultaneously the start of another. Now that he signed his first pro contract, the shortstop out of San Diego took a minute to chat with us about the whirlwind of a process.
I think one word that could really describe it is surreal. I mean, kids growing up playing baseball, this is what they dream of, and I think a lot of hard work has paid off, and it's amazing. I can't say enough about it.
Well, you didn't waste any time getting to work. You're in Port Charlotte right now. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been working on since you signed?
Just kind of getting to know all the guys, and then lots of orientations on how they like to do things here. And for the most part, just taking some ground balls, getting used to the heat for sure. It's a lot different from out in California, but it's fielding and just kind of the basics right now.
Well, as we all know, there's no shortage of shortstops in this organization. Do you have your mind set on playing that position? Are you willing to move around if that helps you move up through the minors quicker?
Definitely. I've always been one to play any position I can, and whatever this coaching staff, because of how amazing they are. These guys know what they're doing. They've been here a long time. They're going to do what's best for me, and I'm going to do my best for them.
Well, aside from being a prospect at shortstop, you're also a pretty good pitcher. You got a fastball in the mid-90s. I mean, are we talking to the next Shohei Ohtani? Have you ever thought of being a two-way player?
I'm really trying to get away from that two-way kind of game, but in the future, I mean, I guess you could call it a possibility, but I'm staying away from it for now.
So what's the team told you about what they expect from you and where they ultimately see you playing?
We haven't got to that yet. I think this past week that I've been here, it's just kind of getting used to everything, getting acclimated to the heat, and just taking it slow for now.
So you actually signed to play college ball at Cal. What would you have majored in had you gone to college?
I would have studied business at the Haas Business School.
Always been into business, an entrepreneur type?
Yeah, definitely. I did a lot of it in high school. Kind of, it's what you call like it's one of the programs they do there. So you take like 3 different classes throughout the years.
Being a part of an organization now that has so much success and has a reputation for such a deep farm system and for developing immense talent, to be a part of an organization who has that and is currently experiencing so much success, how exciting has that been for you?
It's overwhelming. I mean, the things they preach here, and these guys like to win, and so do I, and the coaching staff. I mean, it's legit. I love it here. Everything's awesome, and I'm ready to start playing.
Did you follow what they did last year at all?
Yeah, close, so close. But
What were your thoughts on that 2020 season?
oh, great season. They had a really strong team, very good pitching, and obviously very good hitting as well. They made it as far as they did, and Dodgers, they were just on a roll last year. I didn't think they could be beat, honestly, but they definitely had a really good run at it.
Carson, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate the time, and we can't wait to see you up here at some point.
All right, thank you.
Best of luck to Carson as he works his way through the Rays system. Thanks for joining us on another edition of Rays All Access. I'm Trisha Whitaker. Thanks for watching.